Yep, it's the world famous What's New with Stu. And you know, I got to bring it to you first. And stepping in the building today, I have the Grammy nominated songwriter, critically acclaimed singer.
Yes, sir.
The pride and joy of Little Rock, Arkansas.
What's up?
Qiuntelli is in the building. Quint.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Man, nothing, man. How you been, brother?
Living, man. Great.
Just working out here?
Working, man. Getting to it.
Absolutely. Now, most people, you know, they may recognize you from a couple years back. Less hair, no beard, softer voice.
For sure. For sure.
You were on the talent show, competition show, The Four.
Yep.
And you performed your heart out, sang Usher, You Got It Bad.
Did.
In front of Megan Trainor and Diddy and DJ Khaled.
Yeah.
And Diddy went on to say, you know, you gave him them young Usher vibes. You know, how was it for you performing that song on that stage in front of millions of people? And then, you know, you got Sean Diddy Combs, you know, giving you that cosign saying you giving him Usher vibes.
Yeah, man, it was amazing, first off, because a lot of people don't know that was my first time ever performing R&B.
For real?
I had never performed R&B in my life. I just did covers because I had started in the church.
Okay.
You know, so as I transitioned, that was my first time getting on the actual stage performing in front of, you feel me, Diddy, Cali, like that was my first time. So to be, you know, viewed in that capacity, like I was ecstatic, man. I was just like, wow, you know, like this. I feel like I tell people sometimes it's a difference between an artist and a singer, you know, because artists you can translate to any. You know what I'm saying, you gonna find your way, you know. So just to be viewed in that, you know, in that way from somebody like Diddy, I was like, damn, we here. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I mean, how did life change for you after the show?
It just put me. It made it much easier to walk in rooms. You know what I'm saying? Like people respected me a lot more. Like even being at transitioning from a different genre, you know, it allowed me to walk in certain rooms and have different conversations. And, you know, now I'm 2-time Grammy nominated, platinum singer-songwriter, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm only 22. Yeah. You know, I got so much more to build upon. And as I continue to build my core fan base and, you know, build my brand as an artist, things of that nature. But, man, it just opened a lot of doors for me. Like, it opened a shit ton of doors. A shit ton of doors, yeah. So, right now, man, I'm coasting, man. I'm just grinding, still building, you know, every day. I'm laying that brick down, you know.
Building a resume up.
For sure.
Now, speaking of the resume, you know, you mentioned Grammy-nominated songwriter.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, go ahead and give them people, you know, a taste of some of the songs that you've put that pen to pad to.
Man, I did Catch a Body by Chris Brown.
And with Fabio?
Fabio.
Oh, man, the joint that's playing on the radio every day right now?
That's me, for sure. That's me. That got nominated for R&B Album of the Year. Okay. And I worked on Eric Bellinger's New Light album. That got nominated for R&B Progressive Album of the Year. Okay. Danny Lasers dropped her project, the most recent project she dropped. I think she has 7 songs. I did 6 on that project. Man, what else I done worked on? Just a whole bunch of other stuff, man. But to name the few, just is for people that I know. Like those are some of the projects and songs that I've had my hand in.
I mean, how did the Chris Brown placement come about? You know, was it a song that you already had in the tuck already, and it was like, yo, we need something for Chris Brown, and they're like,
you know,
tell me what you got.
You know, I tell people this because this is an interesting story too. That was my first time. I moved to Atlanta July of 2020. Okay. And pandemic time for sure. And they had my manager V Script. He would take me. At that point, I was kind of getting comfortable writing in rooms with other people. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, "You gotta get out your bedroom, bro." You know what I'm saying? Like you fire, but we need you to be fire in front of, you know what I'm saying, with Rodney Jerkins, and you know, I need you to be able to deliver in front of these people. So I'm like, all right. So we went to this
no pressure.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So we went to this we pulled up to this camp, and this is the first camp I ever been to. The first camp I walked in, Eric Bellinger in there. Yeah. I'm talking about it was some heavy hitters in there. Like worked on Over It, Summer Walker, worked on Donda, worked like niggas that's, you know what I'm saying, handling their business. So I'm like, I walk in, I'm like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? It's time to get right, time to get in that bag. Yeah. So I got on the mic, they pulled up because we was just writing to loops and then building a beat out. So they pulled up this beat where they pulled up a loop and I got on and V was like, "Hey, it's your turn."
Okay, what you got?
It's your turn.
You at the bat.
Man, and it's so crazy. I did one take, bro.
Wow.
I had never been to a camp. One take.
So when you say a camp, you know, for the people that don't know, you know, it's like, you know, like y'all literally lock in the studio and it's a bunch of songwriters, bunch of producers, and y'all are just, you know, coming up with, you know, concepts and hooks and songs and ideas, right?
All day. Yo, it's just and we had this one at a Airbnb. So all day, all night,
all day,
no
all
sleep.
night.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just next, load it up. You know what I'm saying? So that was the first song. That was the first song that I worked on, and I laid the entire melody for his verse and the hook, and wrote on his verse and the hook. And Fabio, of course, wrote his own verse, and Chris wrote. I think he had 2 verses on there. He ended up writing his own second verse. But yeah, man, that was the first one I ever did, and it turned out so Chris took it. You know, so it was fire, man. It was fire.
Definitely. You mentioned working with EB, Eric Bellinger, man. You guys seem to have like a great working relationship.
Yeah, we
you know, how did that, you know, transpire?
That was actually the first time that I worked with him as well at that camp. But my manager V and Eric has a really good relationship. So over time, when I met V February 2020, and I met Eric I think October 2020, and he kind of introduced us, and we just clicked. Man. So we just started. We would go up to Cali a lot because that's where Eric from. And we'd just do camps with him, work on his projects, and then as our relationship kind of started to grow, we started to do stuff together. So like we got the record coming out.
New Light.
Yeah. We worked on New Light, and then he actually just told me that I think the 10-year anniversary of Rebirth is coming.
Okay.
So we'll be going out there with him next month to work on that project as well. And I got the single dropping with him next week too. So yeah, man, we just got a whole bunch of story. Man.
Loading up the clip.
Oh, for sure, man.
Absolutely. Now, I mean, you know, you've been doing your songwriting thing, and you know, you yourself as an artist, man. You know, you've had Don't Use Me, Rent Free. You know, just dropped Open Letter not too long ago. You know, how do you feel like you've grown as an artist? You know, from the time of Don't Use Me to now.
I'll say. My pocket is deeper. The pocket is way deeper with my delivery. You know, because I was still figuring it out at the time. That was kind of, I started doing R&B like 2017, but I didn't really learn how to write a record until 2020 when I met V. He kind of broke me down to build me up. Like, you know, this is how you do this is how you do that. You know, things of that nature. But from Don't Use Me to now, the pocket is deeper, the delivery is deeper. Just being able to take what I'm feeling and to put it into words to where, you know, somebody else can really feel what I'm saying. You know, like I think it's truly an art to be able to grasp your emotion and to verbalize it in such a way that it truly connects with the consumer. You know, so from 2020 to 2023, man, I think that's the number one thing for me. Just the way I approach records, you know, and being able to truly connect with the audience. Like Open Letter, man. So many people be texting me like, bro, like I feel like this is my healing song, you know. But that was such a authentic place for me when I wrote that record. It's like now people are like super like, dang, bro, like this is what's getting me through. You know, I'm going through the same thing, you know. So just being able to connect, I feel like that's been my number one thing that I've been wanting to continue to. And of course, for years to come, as long as I continue to do music, like to be able to strengthen that, you know, year by year, you know. So I think for sure, since 2020 to now, that's the number one thing.
Yeah, definitely expressing yourself and being able to, you know, put it in a way for the fans to connect with is dope. And definitely, you know, one of your many talents. Now, how do you balance, you know, being a songwriter and being an artist and a singer? You know what, like, how do you like, yo, damn, I think I'm gonna keep this song for myself, or you know, okay, you know what, I think such and such may sound great on this, or I may pitch this for this artist. You know, how do you balance that?
Knowing my brand, knowing who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, I'm not finna drop no record talking about hella like sex. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not who I am. Like that's not what I sell. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like R. Kelly, for instance, that's him. You know what I'm saying? Like pirate. That's what you see what I'm saying? That's what he owned. But for me, I know his emotion. I know his vulnerability is like kind of like Drake, you know, in a sense. Like he gonna pull on them heartstrings. You know, so just knowing who I am, you know, knowing what I'm trying to sell to my audience, it always keeps the line from being blurred of, all right, I know this record can go to Chris Brown, or I know this record can go to Eric because this is more mature, you know what I'm saying? Like, or not, this fits right, you know, with me from what my project, what I'm saying and what the message of my project is. So I say for me, it's just been knowing who I am, figuring that out over time too, because it wasn't easy when I first started writing with V. He kind of helped me figure that out. He micromanaged a lot of things because when you really good at something, or you just like the new artist on the block, everybody want to get in, and I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to put this record on you. But he kept the ship real tight until I understood, okay, this is Qiuntelli. Okay, this is Young Blue. This is Danny Lay. This is Summer Walker. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you sound great on it because your tone, it can fit in any pocket or any song, but it still don't, this is not who you are. So it was just getting to a point to where I understood my brand and the message I was trying to sell to people, or just how I wanted people to connect with my music. For sure.
You've worked with, Chris Brown, Eric Bellinger, Tory Lanez. You're diverse. Moneybagg Yo.
Yeah.
You done got your pocket with that as well. Who is some artists that, that you're looking forward to working with that you haven't gotten a chance to work with yet?
Drake.
Drizzy. Yeah, you just trying to go number one.
Drake. No, Drake. Drake is, I love Drake, man.
Cheat code.
Drake is amazing. Party Next Door.
Okay.
Bryson Tiller. Summer Walker. SZA.
Okay.
That's my 5.
Yeah.
I worked with them. I didn't work with everybody else. For sure.
Absolutely. Now, who are some artists that, that you listened to growing up that, inspired you?
Eric Bellinger. For real, I'm being so serious. Like when I tell him this often. Like, I made a post on Instagram the other day when I was 17. I had covered his song, and I had this guy from my school. He played a guitar, and I posted it on YouTube. And I did a mashup between Justin Bieber, "You All That Matters," and "Drive By."
Okay.
And then I posted the other day. Now that we dropping the record, I was like, wow, it's crazy. Like 4 years ago, I was in high school and I was covering his records. So 4 years later, now I got a song dropping with him. When got Grammy nominated, it's just crazy how manifestation and just faith and hard work and just keeping God first, things of that nature. But I would say definitely Eric Bellinger, Bryson Tiller, Drake, and Tory. That's like those like my 4 that kind of shaped my artistry, in a sense. How I approach records, just lyrically, technically, sonically, for sure.
Absolutely. Now, one person that's very special to you, your mom.
Yeah, definitely.
It just seems like your mom, she just put in so many sacrifices for you, and she's just been there, your number one cheerleader along the way. How is, being with your mom and nurturing that relationship and still staying, the son, but also, becoming this star, how do you navigate that relationship with your mom?
It was tedious at first. It was super rocky at first, being that switching from gospel.
Okay.
Once I made that transition, it got kind of rocky because you know how Christians can be.
Yeah.
They can be super. This is the way it needs to be, and I was the rebel. I'm finna do it. You know what I'm saying? So when I was 16, I told him like, nah, I'm cool. She gave me a hard time for it, but I think sometimes you have to show people I'm serious. You're like, nah, this is what I want to do. Like I got to take control because I used to tell her a lot of the times like, man, at the end of the day, when the dust settle, they're not gonna look at you. They're gonna look at me. What did you accomplish? You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna say, oh well, he didn't want to make his mom. No, they're gonna say, you know what I'm saying? Hey, what you do with it?
Right.
So. Over time, I had to kind of micromanage their relationship and kind of take a step back, to be able to truly show her, who I was.
And still be strong in your faith as well.
Yeah, for sure. Because sometimes I think parents, they want to make sure, like, okay, I trained him up. Is he going to forget my teachings?
Right.
And I think I had to truly pull away, like, and even if it made our relationship a little bit uncomfortable, I had to set those boundaries. So she'll know, like, like he's not gonna forget, but you gotta let him go on his path.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta let him whatever he wants to do, you gotta be okay with that. And now she see you. She see what time it is.
Yeah, man. Of course, you come back, you show a little love. Mom definitely appreciate that as well. Was it hard for you? Was that a hard decision for you to make that transition from doing gospel music to real R&B?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't only because I did Broadway when I was like 11. Okay. I did Broadway from 11 to 13, and when I was 12, I told her, I was like, I don't think I want to do gospel no more. And she was like, we'll revisit this conversation in a few years. You know, so I always had it in my mind, like eventually it's gonna come where I'm gonna have to make that decision and take that step. But nah, it wasn't hard for me. It wasn't hard because it was in my heart that, you know, like my relationship with God is not dependent upon what genre I sing. You know, so that always was kind of embedded in me. So and I've always been super sure, like, nah, this is what I'm gonna do. This is not what I'm gonna do, you know, and can nobody change that. I don't care who it is, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm gonna do something, I'm going to do it. Yeah. You know, so once that time came, it was seamless. It was seamless. I went from when I was 15, I had got reached out to by American Idol. Okay. And I don't really tell people a lot of this. So I got reached out to by American Idol. I went to Memphis. They passed me by all the first and second audition. I didn't make it. And then when I turned 16. The Voice reached out to me. I didn't make it. I wasn't ready yet. When I turned 17, that's when the 4 reached out, and it was time. Oh, it was time for you. Yeah, I did enough studying. I did enough, you know, practicing and just sharpening my iron. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, like it wasn't that much of a. It wasn't hard for me because it was time. I was ready. It was time for you to, you know, leave the nest and grow your wings a little bit. Definitely. Absolutely. Definitely. Talk to me. Yes, sir. The single. Yes, sir. About to beat up the charts. Come Torpedo on. To number 1. 1,000. 1,000. Tell me, I mean, what was the inspiration behind this brand new record? Man, I actually wrote that record in 2020. Okay. Yeah, it's an older record. This is back when I used to be in my little cubby recording in the little 5 feet room. I had 5. Yeah, man. I was in there and I heard the beat. And I was like, this give me like a nostalgic, real R&B. Like it feel, and I don't do a lot of records. Like I said, I'm very influenced by like the Tillers and the Party Next Doors. But like my superpower is I can really sing. Like I can stand with the ones that can go. You know what I'm saying? I can go toe to toe with the real ones. So it's like when I heard it, I was like, damn, I want to have something like this in my catalog. You know, so I just let the track speak to me, and it just felt sexy. It just felt like, damn, I gotta talk to the ladies on this. You know, so once when I wrote my verse, I called my manager V, and I was like, yo, let's finish this joint. So me, V, and B Hess, we ended up finishing the record at Key's crib, and I was like, damn, Eric, I sound crazy on this. And that's when I first started kind of like cultivating my relationship with him. And then maybe I went to LA February of 2021. And we cut it. Okay. And he cut his verse out there. And it was just crazy, man. Like, when we heard it, we just spent it back. And it standed the test of time, even though it's only been like 3 years. Yeah. It's still, like, when you hear it, it's like, still fresh. Yeah. It's like, it don't, like, I don't feel like, I don't want to hear that. Like, right. I'm like, no, this feels like R&B. Right now. Yeah. Anytime. Classic. Come on. You know, do you feel like R&B as a place where it kind of has gotten a little, you know, stale and it needs that new energy, that new bounce to it? Yeah, definitely. I think it's just time, and I think people are yearning for it first. I think people we've had our melodic R&B and our, you know, mixed in with the rap cadences. Like I feel like we've had that for, you know, some time, almost 10 years now. Yeah. And I think people want that fresh feeling again. Like, nah, I want to feel something. You know, like I want to be smacked in the face with something. Like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Right. So I think it's coming. I think it's coming. I think this young generation, like my generation, like I feel like we want to give it back. You know, and we want to pay it forward from, you know, the people that have studied and do have some type of knowledge of what came before us. Yeah. You know, so. Yeah, it's time though, for sure. Nah, I mean, even though you know you're pretty young in the game, you know, you've experienced a lot, you've accomplished a lot. You know, you're someone that's, you know, wiser beyond your years. You know, what advice would you give to, you know, that new young artist that, you know, is in his closet trying to record a song and, you know, he, you know, trying to figure it out and don't know, you know, what his next steps would be? What advice would you give him? Man, I would say first keep God first. Okay. You know, he gonna direct your path. You know, he gonna connect you with the people. And if you allow him to be your source and you know where your help come from, he gonna always put you in the rooms you need to be in. You know, and one thing for me, I will always tell him, like, it's a treacherous industry. You know, like, just keep me in the rooms I need to be in and keep me covered. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you can easily fall into a situation with some people you don't need to be with. You know, where there's bad business or people just put you in uncomfortable situations. You know, so to start, I would say keep God first. That's the first thing. Number 2. Network. You got to get out there. Even if it's not physically, you need to be in them DMs. You know what I'm saying? How I met my manager, V, I DM'd him. I was sitting in my room, bro. I was telling people I came off the fort, and I would be in my room, bro, like just on YouTube finding beats. I didn't have no producer. I didn't really know how to write. I had a guy named EJ. I met him through Rico Love.
Okay.
He gifted me all of my studio equipment. He had a studio, and he was like, bro, I don't even use this no more. I got a Mac desktop, 2 JBL speakers, a Focusrite, and a mic.
What?
And Logic already on there. You just need to learn how to use it.
Learn how to use it, and you're off.
And you feel me? So after that, he gifted me that was July of 2019, right after I graduated high school. So I was in my room all night. Every day. I'm on YouTube. I'm downloading beats. I'm figuring out what I want my template to sound like. I was just invested. So once I got a little knowledge of what I was doing, I reached out to V, February 2021. Like, bro, like let's work. You know what I'm saying? Like, he asked me, could I write? I'm like, a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm nice though. You know what I'm saying? And I listen. You know what I'm saying? So after that, once he figured that out, it was during a pandemic. He was in LA with Rodney Jerkins, and they was hooping. Knowing he on hoop, then pulled a muscle in his back. So he was out for like 6 weeks. He's laying in the bed, and that's when I reached out to him. So we was just on FaceTime every day.
Wow.
He couldn't go nowhere.
He couldn't go nowhere. He's stuck in the bed.
You know what I'm saying? It was pandemic, so we wasn't going nowhere anyway. So
right,
I'm
you
just
stuck in the
sitting
house.
phone up. I got my headphones on. We just locked in all day. So that 6-7 months before I moved to Little Rock, that really gave me a sense of direction of like, okay, this is how you do this. You know what I'm saying? I had like them, oh shit.
Them aha moments.
You feel me? So that's kind of how that came about for sure.
Absolutely. Well, man, I definitely want to salute you being a young trailblazer and taking the game to new levels and new heights, man. Talk to me, the single.
Talk to me, the single, man.
Coming out
August 11th.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to run it up, run them streams up.
1,000. It's time.
You know what I'm saying? Tell the people where to follow you at, social media.
Okay, so my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, everything. Qiuntelli, that's Qiuntelli. That's Qiu. Yeah, Qiuntelli. And that's for all social medias, YouTube, everything. You'll find me at that.
Okay, well, what if they type in Qiuntelli? That ain't gonna.
You ain't gonna find that. You ain't gonna find.
So you had to switch it up a little bit.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I had to get on my R&B vibe. You know what I'm saying? I had to let them know, new guy. You know what I'm saying? Qiuntelli, we outside. So we lit. It's Qiuntelli, man. Let's do it.
Telly, man, I appreciate you, man. Give me some shout outs, bro.
For sure, man. Shout outs to. You say anybody?
Anybody.
Man.
Shout out to.
Shout out moms, man. Shout out my squad, man. Shout out my uncle, man, over there, man. My brother, man. Super Park. You know what I'm saying? Datris, V, Behest, Keys, man. Shout out Wealth, my distribution, man.
Okay.
We locked in. Shout out my city, Little Rock, man.
Come
on, man. Y'all know what time it is. 501, man. Yeah, man. We on the way. Qiuntelli, talk to me August 11th. Feature Eric Bellinger. What the fuck going on? Let's get it, man.
Hey, man, you know what's new with Stu. I bring it to you first. My dog Telly, Qiuntelli in the building, man.
Yes,
talk to me single on the way, man. We're going to run the streams up on that. I want to thank you for pulling up on me, dog.
No problem, brother. No problem.
Hey, man.
Yes, sir.
Grammy Award come back, man. You got to come back. We're going to chop it up again.
I'm going to bring the Grammy. I'm going to sit it right here.
Right here, man.
Yes, sir.
You know what it is, man. Your boy, what's new with Stu.
Let's do
Keep
it
it locked.